Theme frameworks do sometimes give you the ability to customize any part of the look of your site very easily. However, let's assume for a moment that you found a theme that is not part of a framework and is just too perfect for your purposes not to use. It happens often enough because there are some fantastic themes available for WordPress that don't use a framework of any kind. You need to know how to customize those themes as well. Let's return to the Tender Spring theme I found earlier, and we'll look at what we can do with customization to a theme that does not necessarily make it easy. We'll go to the Themes section of the dashboard and activate Tender Spring. You'll notice that Page Line Settings has been replaced by Theme Options in the Manage Theme screen. If we click that, we have a box where we can enter custom CSS. Any custom CSS should be added here, rather than editing the CSS files of the theme directly, because any theme files that are edited may be overwritten when the theme is updated to a new version. You may want some custom CSS for the content of your pages, or perhaps a recurring post type, where you want some text or other content displayed a certain way. You can create custom CSS classes here, and define that class in the content when you create a post. Let's create a simple CSS class that gives us a special header that looks different, because we don't like the default header class that the visual editor gives us. This class will make any text that we define with the gHeader class green and increase its size to 120% of normal. Let's edit a post to illustrate where you can see that. We'll edit one of the posts we already have so that you can see the difference between the visual editor, which is the one that displays by default, with what you see is what you get type editor controls, and the text editor, which is the plain text editor that allows you to directly edit the HTML of that post. You can see that the text editor is much less user-friendly than the visual editor. That's okay. It's not really intended to be used by someone who doesn't know what HTML looks like. If you're going to be managing a WordPress site, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get at least a basic understanding of what HTML code looks like and how it works. But for now, I'm going to assume that you're at least somewhat familiar with HTML and are comfortable with adding a tag to an HTML snippet. We already have some headers in this post, so let's change those to our new header CSS. Find the header tag, which will be H1, H2, up to H5, depending on which header you chose in the visual editor. In this case, it's H2. And we will edit these. We'll replace them with a div tag, which is the division tag. It simply tells your browser that the thing inside these tags may be different. Be sure to change both the opening and the closing tag. Now we have to specify this div tag as using the gHeader class. We do that with the class option to the div tag. Now we have specified that this text should use any styles associated with the gHeader class. If we update this post and view it, we'll see our changes. This is how you would implement some custom CSS changes into your theme to customize your content. In the next video, we'll look at customizing the theme itself.